What's the longest you've watched someone fake their way through something? My cousin got hired at this upscale Italian restaurant because he claimed he spoke fluent Italian on his resume. Reality? He'd been using Google Translate on his phone, pretending to understand while nodding at everything the Italian chef and kitchen staff said. The staff loved him because he'd agree to all their requests. Work double shifts? Cover weekends? Perfetto. His phone would buzz with translations 15 seconds too late, so he just kept smiling and nodding. This worked for 8 months. He even got promoted to assistant manager because the owner thought he had such great rapport with the authentic Italian kitchen crew. The chef was actually running everything, while my cousin just played along with enthusiastic hand gestures and random Bene. Then the health inspector showed up for a surprise visit and only spoke Italian. The owner was in a panic because this inspector was notorious for shutting down restaurants, and he needed someone to translate the conversation to make sure everything went smoothly. When the inspector started asking questions, my cousin did his usual confident nodding routine. The inspector asked if the food was stored at proper temperatures. Not understanding, my cousin gave his trademark enthusiastic "Si" with a big smile. The inspector looked concerned and asked if they had been serving spoiled meat to customers. My cousin, thinking he was being complimented, responded with an even more enthusiastic "Assolutamente sì" while giving a thumbs up. The inspector's face went white. He asked if my cousin was admitting to food poisoning incidents. My cousin, seeing the serious expression and thinking he needed to be more convincing, nodded vigorously and said, "Si, molti." Yes, many, while making exaggerated gestures. Next thing he knew, the health inspector was shutting down the restaurant and calling for backup. My cousin was still smiling and saying, "Perfetto," while the inspector was literally putting closure notices on the doors. It took the owner's frantic phone call to his Italian mother-in-law to explain that my cousin wasn't confessing to mass food poisoning. He was just an idiot with Google Translate who had been faking Italian for 8 months. The real issue was a minor temperature violation that would have been a simple fix. But my cousin's enthusiastic confession to serving spoiled meat and poisoning customers had turned a routine inspection into a full restaurant shutdown. The inspector was so embarrassed when he found out the truth that he let them reopen the next day with just a warning. The owner was laughing so hard during the explanation that he kept my cousin on staff, but moved him to the front of house where his unique communication style couldn't accidentally shut down the business. My cousin still works there 2 years later. He finally learned actual Italian, but the kitchen staff still calls him CC, and the story of how he accidentally confessed to food poisoning while trying to be helpful is now restaurant legend.